listening to For Better and Worse podcast with Rach and Jerry.
Ooh, she got there, she got there.
I'm gonna sit.
I'm very close to getting here. Oh my god, I'm sitting on this one.
Another one?
Another one.
I feel like you've gotten like short before.
Oh yeah, and I think that's where I like to be. I think I like short hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I need it to be off my neck, so I kind of battle.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome.
Hello,
welcome to the third episode of this podcast that
This season.
This season. How we haven't done any holiday check-ins. Did you survive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It was good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I had somewhat of an emotional holiday moment when I was at Brady's family's Christmas. So we had all of our family's Christmas on Christmas Eve. So like my sisters and I got together, and then I was at my dad's for part of it, and then the boys went and stayed with their dad. So they woke up at his house on Christmas. It was my first Christmas without my boys, and all I did was trick my brain into thinking, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
We did everything a day early.
Yeah.
So on Christmas Eve, when we woke up, Santa and the Grinch had come.
Yes. Yeah. That was smart.
I'm not exactly sure why my kids were convinced that the Grinch was coming as well. I think we've just watched a lot of different Grinch movies.
Which, I'm sorry. As I've said before on this podcast publicly, I'm not a fan of Jim Carrey's comedic work. Okay? And that does include the Grinch. And that does include the
And
Grinch.
it's okay
and I'm
to be
sorry.
wrong.
But
wrong.
the cartoon Grinch,
Which one? There's two.
not the old one.
The Benedict Cumberbatch
The
one.
Benedict Cumberbatch, okay? And Rashida Jones. Rashida Jones is what I'll say. Said one line. And I said, that's Rashida Jones.
That's how I felt about Keenan.
Uh-huh.
Keenan Thompson. Mm-hmm.
You say, I think she literally said, hi. I said, that's my friend Rashida from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, Keenan went, ha ha ha, hey, Grinchy. And I was like, I know that. That's the guy who used
Welcome
to
to
be
Good Burger. Home of the Good
That's
Burger.
the guy in the bubble bath with
Exactly.
a French accent. Yeah.
Okay. So
But
the Grinch came.
The boys were like, I said, do you want to leave stuff out for Santa? And they said, yeah, but we also have to get stuff for the Grinch. And I was like,
And the boys are in
"You're
on
right."
this together.
Yes. So they were very adamant that that Santa got red and white cookies and milk, and the Grinch got green cookies with lemonade because that's the greenest beverage in our fridge. Yeah. But then Forrest remembered from watching the Grinch that the Grinch likes coffee, so he asked me to make him a coffee. Aww. So I also made him a coffee. And then because they were coming a day early, the boys decided to pay them. So Ollie got $20 out of a card that he had gotten for Christmas and put it out. And then that was for Santa. But the Grinch, he went and got a Tooth Fairy $1. And gave the Grinch $1.
The Grinch a little less. He's less of...
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. The Grinch was just
There's
happy
less
to be
allure.
included. Yeah. But they didn't take their money. They put the money in the stockings to say thank you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to pretend like they didn't know who the money came from. So I put the 20 in one and the one in the other. And Ollie was like, both of those are mine. So
Let's be clear about who's sacrificing everything for this.
But it was really fun to do the Grinch because I put little green food dye in the coffee. I like emptied half of it out and put green food dye in the coffee. So it looked like he turned it green. And then I got a little bit of green food coloring on a paper towel, and I dabbed it on the cup so it looked like his fingerprints because his fingerprints are kind of hairy.
Jerry, you're doing the most.
And then I got the cookies and I fucking crumbled those cookies up all over. Santa was much more clean. The Grinch, absolute mess. And the kids were like, that's crazy work, Grinch.
Aww.
But yeah, so I tricked my brain into thinking that like, no, I didn't spend Christmas without them.
Yeah.
Christmas happened a day
Well, you
early.
did celebrate Christmas with them. You know, like it was celebrated. I think that.
And the days between Christmas and New Year's are kind of like an abyss anyway.
Yeah.
So
And
who
you
cares?
throw a birthday party in there.
Yeah. Ollie turned 7 2 days after that. But then we did Parsons Christmas, who are going to be my in-laws, 2 days after Ollie's birthday party.
Oh.
The day before New Year's.
Okay.
So we're just like boom, 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 all these celebrations. But at Parsons family Christmas, we have it at Sierra and Corey's house.
Okay.
We're in the basement. We do all the gifts. Susan, Brady's mom, is sitting in the middle and she's divvying up the gifts to everybody. And the kids are opening them one by one. And it felt like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because we would do that. My grandma would sit in the middle and she'd hand out gifts. And then all the kids went upstairs and played with the gifts while the adults stayed downstairs and like told stories and jokes.
What a
and
dream.
the way my heart swelled because of the nostalgia I was living in, Noah, Sierra's son, was playing the trumpet for the kids upstairs.
I
All of
mean,
a sudden we hear like, brr, brr, brr.
that's amazing.
I was like,
He said, "You know what? I
"Where
have
am I?"
a attentive audience.
Oh yeah, and he did.
Low pressure too.
He
so he
did.
could really put his heart into it.
Yes. All 3 of our nieces there wanted Ladies in Tangent sweatshirts for Christmas.
No.
Yes.
So cute. He's
It's
supportive
so-
girls.
I got them. I helped Susan get them because to make sure they were in the correct size and colors, I had to like go back into the old system and order them from our old merch company.
Oh, yeah.
And so we got Mia one that was pink, so it was because she likes Glinda, and then Rowan one that was green because her favorite color is green, but she also likes Elphaba. And then Sawyer got a little navy blue one because she doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
That's just a different color.
No, yeah.
But it was really sweet.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like I am envious of people who have a lot of kids for Christmas because I feel like my family is very adult.
Yes.
Like it's very stressful for me to feel like I'm the only one that brings the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And even people coming to my house, I'm just like, when will I find a balance in making this fun for me?
Yes.
Because it's like, if I go somewhere else, hate that.
Yep.
It's not child proofed. It's not, like, but maybe it's like, maybe I'm never going to be able to be like without stress, But I
truly
feel like
think-
when you're in a family with a lot of kids, there's just this given expectation that like
Everything's crazy.
everything's crazy.
Yep.
And it feels very isolating when you're the only one that has crazy.
Yeah.
Because like Josh's side has kids, but not like a lot.
Yeah.
Like here and there, and it's like if we spend holidays with them, it's kind of up in the air anyway. So I'm always like envious of people who like Jess, like her kids, and then like Joe's whole family. It's just like
There's
oh
a
my
lot
God,
of
the
them, yeah.
endless cousins, just
Yep.
and like bottomless cousins, and I'm like, I got no cousins, I got nothing. Give me some more chaos because I didn't think I was self-conscious, but sometimes I'm like, do these kids get out much?
Well,
Do they know anyway? And the answer is no, because I sent a video of my girls running around Target, and someone pointed out, they're like, Piper doesn't have shoes on. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Does she need them?
Yeah. Okay.
What's she going to do?
Yeah.
And this brings up something very interesting to me because I've been thinking about it.
Now, was she barefoot or in socks?
Oh, barefoot. What's she going to do?
Gotcha.
Okay. Is she genetically complex? And yeah. Should she get sick? No. Did she take her shoes off and throw them and I didn't know where they were and they're now lost to Target forever? Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't walk in with her barefoot.
No, she had shoes.
Yeah.
And she said, no, fuck them shoes.
Choice she made.
Fuck them shoes. And then it was like, I got to get out of the cart. And then they were running around and But here, germs. I want to talk about germs for a second because not a natural germaphobe at all. Not something where my mind goes. I'm trying to be better because avoiding germs is important.
Right.
Like, I'm finally like, I got hand sanitizer spray, wipes, I'm like, we are locking down, washing hands, Bathrooms, okay? The thing that I've never understood from a germaphobe's perspective, what the fuck are we covering the toilet seat for?
I will say, as somebody who was a habitual hoverer, because I was so weirded out by toilet seats.
A hoverer?
Yeah, I would hover. I wouldn't fully sit on the seat.
Jerry.
This is a thing. But I know I'm not
for
alone.
why?
For why? Because it made me feel like, excuse me. I think it's because one time I was dating a guy who told me that his girlfriend got herpes from a toilet seat. And I was like, I don't think that's how herpes work, but just in case, I'm going to hover for the rest of my life.
Like ass herpes?
I don't know.
Ass herpes?
Well, what was funny is he told me this in the same breath that he told me that she had flown to Texas to see a friend of hers who was in the military. And I said,
honey,
sweetie, baby, I
don't know how to tell
was
you.
that man's name Toilet Seat?
Yeah.
Because if
Commode. Commander Commode.
she got it from a toilet seat, the only way that's possible is if he was Lieutenant Toilet Seat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that stuck in my mind. I've seen hairs on toilet seats, and for whatever reason, it just makes me really uncomfortable. Or like, sometimes I'll see little water spots.
Do you know what that's from, Jared?
The toilet spray.
Okay, and also the piss spots are from the hoverers, which I didn't know you guys had a name.
I wipe my piss spots. Thank you very much.
Okay, here's the thing for you hoverers out there.
But then you're
raise
sitting,
the toilet seat.
Raise the toilet seat?
If you're going to hover, you might as well have a bigger surface area to piss into.
Oh.
Raise the toilet seat.
No, that part's grosser to me.
Touching it?
Yeah. And the underbowl.
Okay.
The underbowl, I can't.
I know. As someone who lives with a man, the underbowl.
The amount of times I have gone in because I've heard, Mom, can you wipe my butt? And Forrest is holding himself up like Olympic gymnast style on the bottom bowl because he didn't know that he accidentally lifted both seats.
Oh, no.
I was like, babe, babe, you just made this way harder for yourself.
No, I don't understand really. Okay, because like there's those sheets, which is like, who's using the sheets?
Sometimes I do.
Okay. I'm just one of those people that like, okay, I understand someone's butt germs have touched my butt germs.
Yeah.
What is a butt germ? Like, what? I'm going to shower. I'm going to, like no one's licking my ass.
Okay, I'll
No
tell
one's
you.
licking the surface area of my ass.
Why not? What's wrong with your
The
ass?
surface area? let me just do a
Wait,
big
wait,
roll around town. Just
Is that you clarifying that your butthole is getting licked?
something
I felt like there was
something we need to circle back to is this TikTok will be posted probably by the time this comes out. And I sent you a few of the
Yes.
TikToks that I made.
Yes.
One of them I sent to Josh as just letting he was at work yesterday.
It's like, hey, heads up.
It's this.
Put our relationships on.
Oh my God. Hello.
Because if there's one thing we do to Josh.
There's a chorus. There's a chorus of you.
Talking about anything.
Sent this
on
to him.
Like, I was talking about his cock ring.
Okay.
What is wrong with me?
What Josh did. Gather around, coworkers.
No, he didn't.
Look what my wife sent me. It has that podcast I'm telling you all to listen to. Josh.
You're going to end up in HR.
I said, you're going to catch a sexual harassment claim.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was just one man named Justin that came by. But I was like, Josh. He said, Rachel, I opened this with Justin. I said, oh, no. And also, it's like, I don't know his work friend's name. So I'm
Yeah.
like, is Justin a 70-year-old man? I don't know.
Is Justin cool?
And then so now this is the 7th time I've brought up his cock ring on this podcast because apparently we can't stop talking about it. But
You're like, I can talk about it to the entire internet, but you can't show it at the office.
don't bring this to your co-workers, honey.
Oh my
It
God,
it's not safe for work.
Yeah, no.
NSFW. But
Back to toilet seats.
yeah.
I don't know what my issue with toilet seats are, but I do know that I had a friend come over, bring her kid, and she was like, hey, just so you know, he has, and she said this illness, and it is spread through butt germs. And so like slides.
Like pinworms?
Yes. Slides, toilet seats, swings, things like that. She's like, so just so you know, he's on antibiotics and he's no longer contagious, but he did get diagnosed with this. So if you want to have the play date, and I was like, so he's on medicine. She's like, we don't have to go on your slide or anything. It's like,
why are we going bare ass on the slide anyway?
I don't know if it's just bare ass on the slide. Like kids be sticking their hands down their pants.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never thought about pinworms. But even then, it's like, why is your asshole on the seat? Like, maybe my ass is just very large. I'm not nowhere in my nethers.
I think it's
like touching the porcelain.
I think it's the whole combination of like sitting down, wiping, standing up, and like sometimes I miss when I put the toilet paper in. And I'll stand up and I'll be like, why is that toilet paper on the seat or not even in the bowl in the first place?
Jerry, you play basketball. Okay.
I shot my friggin' biscuit wrapper a second ago and I completely missed.
Okay, well, sharpen up.
Yeah.
Sharpen up.
It's been years since I've hooped.
Never have I ever missed.
Never one time.
No, but
wow.
Okay, this is getting
incredible.
This is getting insane. This is supposed to be a shorter episode because we have a call in about 28 minutes. So we might have to press pause on wiping positions. And
that's fine.
I know I'm wrong for the way I wipe, but it's the way I've learned, and I've not had any.
You can't
problem.
say that and like then want to pause.
I'll just say I was about 22 years old when I learned that people stood up to wipe. Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong. I think I'm wrong.
No, I think that's because you can't go because you're supposed to go front to back.
Right.
Like,
right.
You can't do that if you're sitting.
I mean, you can, but you're going to get your wrist in the water.
Right. So I haven't ever made it a habit of like wiping my poop. Like it's more of a swoop.
Well, I think if you're sitting, you got to go half and half.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not doing like a big full swoops. No.
You got to wipe them as separate things.
Yeah. So I definitely am a sitter and just a small surface area wipe.
There's perks.
I probably use a lot of toilet paper. But
there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
I think
standing is.
Yeah. Everyone asks me about standing and they're like, your butt cheeks go back together. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It seems weird.
I bidet a lot. So.
And I'm going to get on the bidet movement, I think.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. I think that feels right, because then you just have to dry off, really.
Bidet game's strong here.
Yeah. I
We've
get
got
it.
2.
Not sponsored, could be.
They did send them to me.
Yeah. Tushy.
Yeah.
Shout out
Tushy.
When Josh and I stayed at our little Airbnb in basically Jerry's town, because this is somehow a vacation destination for city people. It's like, oh, where can we go that's kind of close? Oh, we'll go to Amish country.
Yeah.
And here we were, but they had a bidet. And I was like, Josh, did you try it? He was like, no. And I'm like, trying to beat the homosexual allegations all on your own.
Yes. Men are so weird about bidets because of butt stuff.
I know. And the other thing,
grow up.
Other thing men are weird about, just like, white men, straight white men, wear a coat. Wear a hoodie is not a coat. A hoodie is not a coat in 20-degree weather. Wear a coat and zip it up like a man.
Yeah, and pants. Put the basketball shorts away.
Nobody's going to call you gay. Nobody's going to assume that you're some ninny.
Are coats gay?
The way, if you walk into a Walmart, take a look. Take a gander at any white man who is wearing a actual legitimate coat.
You know how I know my dad's a Democrat? He has a pea coat and a scarf.
I think that's geographical. Is that outrageous for where you live? That
It is relatively
It's
new.
high fashion. It's
I know.
wow.
I know.
He's woke.
And
If you go to Manhattan,
yeah, that's everywhere.
dime a dozen. You can't
Right.
tell. But here,
Yeah,
that is a scandal in and of itself.
yeah,
To be a man in a pea coat.
yeah.
He might as well said white men for Kamala, right?
And he did. He did.
Okay, here we are. So this episode, we are going to be answering a phone call from one of our listeners.
From the hotline.
So let's listen.
Hi, For Better and Worse team. This is a longtime friend and listener, Rachel, calling from Kentucky. I'm calling because I've had a really hot, crazy year of goss between me and my younger sister. I am 28, almost 29, and she's 21, so we've got a large gap. We lost our mom 3 years ago. Our mom struggled with a lifetime of addiction and borderline personality disorder and a lot of depression and a lot of pain. She died very traumatically 3 years ago when my sister was a senior in high school. So my sister packed up and moved to New York City to go to college. And against my advice, my family let her do that. She's been in New York for the last 3 years, and this past spring she had a manic episode that led to a hospitalization. At the same time that I was in the NICU for a month with my son, my firstborn son. So that was a lot of chaos for my family. The after effects of it, though, I'm having a really hard time navigating how to be a sister and how to be a friend, but also how to have boundaries to focus on this time in my immediate family as a first-time mom, dad, baby dynamic. We also just bought our first house, so I'm literally calling you from the dining room while I'm painting it. I would just love some advice on how to give sisterly wisdom and guidance without sacrificing your own energy. I just find that I can't tell if it's a maturity difference because of our age. I've walked a lot of very similar roads that she's going through, and it just seems like it's not getting through to her. And I find myself very exhausted with the time I do give to her, none of the advice being taken seemingly, and I just could use a reminder or some encouragement to preserve my energy, or just some advice on like what kind of boundaries are healthy with a sibling, because, oof, that's hard. There's a lot of family guilt. There's a lot of emotional guilt. So please help me not be codependent. I would love some advice. And I love you girls. I'm so excited for this next chapter and honored to be here.
Perfect. Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts.
And Jerry and I are both sisters.
Yes.
So
I am an oldest and you're a youngest, though.
Yeah, oldest and youngest. So that'll provide an interesting dynamic here.
Yeah.
But kind of just like a baseline comment I want to make is sisters are twisted.
Yeah.
We are sick and twisted out here.
Mhm.
Sisterhood, beautiful, lovely. Dark and challenging also.
I was going to say,
weird.
I don't know that I even figured out what sisterhood was until very recently. And I will be 35 this year.
Yeah.
So I may be viewing this through my own personal lens, and I would like to say that I have no credentials. None whatsoever. I do have a degree as an intervention specialist, but it's not how it sounds.
Yeah, okay.
It was for teaching special education.
Right.
Intervention specialist sounds like I sit down with people and give interventions. That's not what it is. So I do have that degree. However, any advice I give here is strictly just from my own personal
They know
lens.
that. You don't need to give a caveat, you know.
Well,
They're here.
I'm gonna.
They're here. Jerry's so afraid of getting canceled. It's crazy.
It's not even just that. It's like I know that there are so many people who listen and want advice. And there are so many people on TikTok who just are offering stuff up like they do know.
Okay.
And I just want to make it very known that half the time those people actually don't know anything.
Oh, yeah, not licensed.
Yeah. So, no, take your time.
Mosby.
Okay. I'm looking at this through my own personal lens as somebody who had a very complicated relationship and still has a very complicated relationship with my mother. My mother is still living, so that's not something that I've had to work through. But to me, the relationship that you are describing with your sister does not sound like a sister relationship. It sounds parental. It sounds like the pressure that you're putting on yourself to be somebody who is advocating for your sister and monitoring her decisions and feeling the weight of the reaction she's having to those decisions, the fallout of them, is very much maternal and not sister.
It's neither friend nor sister.
Yes.
It is mother.
Yes. And I understand why that's happening, because when you have a mother who is not stable and is not
a mother,
right?
You know, like that's way assuming, but you know, like not playing a traditional mother role, which I don't think anybody who's struggling with addiction can truly be there consistently.
And as a big sister, that is a role that you step into. And sometimes in family systems, the older sister is just an extension of the parents. Like, hey, you watch them, you tell them what to do, you keep them out of trouble. And it's like, I'm just a kid as well.
Right.
You are just a person navigating this world as well. And so saying like, hey, I gave this advice to my family and against what I said, she went anyway. Your advice, it's complicated because your sister can have a huge amount of respect for you, but you're still just her sister.
Yeah.
In the playing field of life, you are equals. And that's not how you were raised. That's not the role that you played. And it's very complicated to take yourself out of that role. It's something that I had to do. I did not speak to my youngest sister for over a year. She was in an abusive relationship. And I, to protect myself and protect my family from just exposing myself to the emotional turmoil that she was also going through, I had to just cut her out. Yeah. That's not something I ever wanted to do because I knew she was in danger, but she was making those choices and I couldn't.
You didn't have the energy for it. I remember this era, and I think you had small kids and you were just like, when I'm showing up for her, it is not helping anybody. Right. Like I am either getting frustrated immediately or just being quiet, listening. And it's like, I don't want to listen.
I'm exhausting all of my energy giving it this advice and helping her recover from these situations only to watch her go back into them again. And how many times am I going to put myself in a position to be frustrated for her doing the same thing when I'm not willing to step away either? Right. That's a toxic cycle that I'm in with my sibling, and I'm expecting her to walk away when I'm not willing to. Right. And your family, and this is something that was like an aha moment for me in therapy, your family now is your partner and your son. That's your family. Yeah. Your mom, your dad, your sister, I don't know if you have more siblings. That's your family of origin. That's your extended family. Your energy is poured into your partner and your son.
Yeah. Just now, I think it's like, that sounds shitty to say, but I think a lot of us feel this like guilt of like not being able to show up for our, family of origin in the same way. But until you get your footing, and I think so many of us have wounds from growing up and maybe not having like the parenting style we needed or wanted, and we're reparenting ourselves, and we're like, we are going through so much that like just simplifying it to like, this is your family. you are prioritizing your family by prioritizing your kids and your partner.
Right.
And everyone else is like your support system.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say like you're not theirs, but there's a dynamic there that inherently changes when you have children. And different, like when you have the energy for those more extended relationships, like you will, like you'll know when you like the thing that I think is beautiful about all of you and your sisters is when you found each other in a similar life stage, like you are all so close. Like when you all had kids and you all were like, oh,
This
our
is how
childhood
it
was
supposed-
weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
And we can relate, we can talk instead of like being at different stages. And like, I don't think everybody has that privilege of like getting on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it sounds like your sister has always been used to you being there.
Right.
And that doesn't change. Like that foundational knowledge is still there. And as the little sister, which is me, she knows the ball is in her court. Like she knows that she's the one that moved away, that she knows that she's the one that's struggling, that she's the one not taking advice. She gets it. She knows. But it's not your job to fix her, save her, take away her pain. That's her journey. And I think bringing it back to motherhood, like, which it sounds like those are some feelings you feel towards her, which is, parental. We cannot save our kids from themselves, from their trauma, from whatever they're going to go through.
Yeah.
We can provide a safe space for them to land. But at the end, like, it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say, like, I don't have the energy for this, and to make the call for yourself, to do what you need to do for your own family, for your own peace of mind. Because the little sisterhood is tough. And I think especially like you probably had the opportunity in your adulthood to unpack being raised by someone who, like an addict, by someone who was probably, could have been like emotionally immature, or like, you could unpack being raised in an unstable environment. She didn't get that opportunity. She was not an adult. She was never separated. She hadn't moved out by the time your mom passed. So she's operating from such a different place emotionally that it's hard to compare, and she's never going to have that perspective that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also a hard thing is when you and your siblings have different relationships with your parents.
Yes.
Like Laura, my sister, and I navigate that. Like we have a different relationship with our mom, and it affects our relationship with each other.
Yes.
And it's even in the healthiest of dynamics, which I would say, like in general, like I met my therapist yesterday, my new therapist, and I was like, she was like, how is your family? I said, at the end of the day, it's really, really first world white people problems.
Yeah.
Like I'm not dealing with an addict. I'm not dealing with, it's just normal mom shit, right?
Yeah.
Like mom, sister dynamic stuff. But that's already hard. You're adding in addiction and,
Mental health,
inconsistency, mental health, like borderline personality. Like,
Yeah.
let me be the first to say, woof.
Yeah.
Woof for you.
Yeah.
That sounds like it was so incredibly hard. And you've done so much work to unpack that in your adulthood. And she is going to have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But without her mom.
And I would say, and this is me projecting, as somebody who also feels that there was maybe some undiagnosed mental health issues in my home. I didn't realize people throwing around, like just kind of casually talking about ending their life wasn't normal.
Right.
Because it was mentioned frequently when I was growing up.
Right.
To the point where I internalized believing it was my responsibility to keep people alive.
Yeah.
to keep people safe, to protect and shield them, and not just from like experiencing pain, but from living and dying.
Yeah. And something I think is interesting, Jerry, is my sister would say the same thing, and there wasn't that.
And that's
the eldest
wild.
daughter
Complex,
burden.
yes.
Burden.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting for me to be raising Elsie,
Yes.
an eldest daughter, as the youngest, because I'm like, what am I putting you through?
Yeah.
What am I doing to you?
There is an awareness of that thing.
What burden are you internalizing forever?
Yes.
That it's like, it's a train you can't stop.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize until I was speaking with my very first therapist about some unhealthy dynamics that I had with my mom. And she would say, have you talked to her about this? And I would say, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And she's like, why can't you? And I said, because I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I'm afraid of what's going to happen is what kept me wound really, really tightly. And I extended that not just to my mom, because my mom was not the only person struggling with this. I mean, it filtered into our entire family. Mm-hmm. That's another reason I was scared for my sister. Because both of my sisters had gone through their own journeys.
Right.
And I remember her saying to me, she could do that. That could happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean that could happen? And she's like, and that wouldn't be your fault.
Right.
If she makes a choice, it is her choice to make. It will affect you, and we can navigate your feelings around that. But you being open and honest with your feelings and setting a boundary to protect yourself and your peace it's not a cause and effect thing.
Right.
It's not your responsibility. And me learning that's not my problem, that's not my job, was the most valuable first lesson I could have learned when I had that total codependent enmeshment family system.
Right.
So it's small, simple answer, your sister's not your job.
Yeah.
And that is so hard to unravel when you've believed your whole life that it was.
And I think if there's any advice portion to give, it would be to actually genuinely build a sister type and friend type relationship with your sister to kind of reconstruct the foundation. You know, if you go to New York to see her, it's not to save her. It's to go to a show, go shopping, and go home.
Let her lead for once.
Let her lead. Because you want to save her from herself. You want her to see it's important to, take your meds, exercise, do what you got to do. She's 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Like, she said she's 21.
Yeah, she's 21 now.
So, yeah.
I
She's
will
going to do
say
what she's going to do.
The amount of time I spent trying to save my sister, I could have spent trying to get to know her.
Yeah.
And now that's what I've done. I was looking at every decision she made through the lens of, but you don't know.
But you don't know.
And I need to help you because I want to save you from the pain that I know that I felt.
Yeah.
And all of that kept me from seeing her.
Yeah.
Getting to know her and getting to experience her wins and her losses as just a person and not the person who was responsible for either preventing or, I don't know, elevating those.
And I think like when you and your sister worked it out, it was because you stopped playing the mom role. You stopped being like, okay, my only role is to parent you and to tell you all of the things that you need to do to save your life and to save, you were able to be like, oh, let's not talk about it.
Yes.
Let's do anything else. Let's play with my kids. Let's do literally anything else because she is your sister. She is one of the loves of your life. I genuinely believe that my sister is one of the loves of my life. And, I'm immensely grateful to have that. And now I get to witness that as a mom and I'm so lucky. But she is not my responsibility. And that doesn't mean that I don't feel a great amount of love and like I'll take care of her. I'll do what I need to do for her. But like, sisterhoods are sick and twisted naturally. I think as women, we are complex human beings with a well of feeling, just so much. And enmeshing those together is hard.
Yeah.
But I would say you got to do a little unraveling and try to pick up new pieces.
Yeah. I don't know what your what her perspective of your relationship is like, but I remember driving to my sister's house because she had kind of had a moment of realization that I was like, she can't go through this alone.
Right.
So I went to her house and I sat down and I kind of asked her for her brutal honesty on her opinion of me.
Yeah.
And
whoa.
I know.
Scary stuff.
I was like, I need you to tell me, what lens are you receiving my advice through? Because I know that I'm doing it from a place of love, from a place of protection, from a place of wanting the absolute best for you. But how are you receiving it? And the way that she received it was that it makes me emotional when I think about it, that I didn't think she was good enough.
Yeah.
That I thought she was a fuck up, that I didn't think she was capable of being successful on her own, that she didn't have the tools to do so, and that I was just always expecting her to fail and that I always needed to rescue her. And I was like, that is so far from the truth, but I never knew that that's how you were feeling.
Right.
And then I got an opportunity to say, like, I'm just so scared and I want to be someone who can support you, but I didn't realize that my support was actually hurting you.
Yeah.
And it really changed everything because she didn't realize that I was loving her like a mom.
Right.
She just looked at me like, you're supposed to be my equal and you're speaking down to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not, I didn't realize. So maybe if there is a space and time for you to have a conversation like that with your sister to kind of figure out, like,
where do you think I'm coming from?
Yeah. Are we even reading the same book? Not even are we on the same page. Are we in the same book?
Right.
And how do we get there? Do we need to close both of these and start a new one? And
I think something to a hurdle you might come to, just as someone who like jumps from a conclusion to a conclusion, is like, do not put the pressure on you and your sister to have the same narrative of your mom. I think that's been really helpful for me and Laura. Because we didn't have the same mom. Like,
you can grow up in the same house and have totally different parents.
Different parents, different expectations. And you naturally, from where you're born in the stars to whatever your Enneagram is, to whatever, you're going to naturally take it differently.
Yep.
Like, I took my mom's criticism as an opinion that I didn't care to have. Laura took
my God, that sounds so nice. I want to be the youngest.
Laura took it to heart, you know, and different, you know? And I think especially so hard to navigate. It will be nice to have Jess on the podcast to talk about, you know, losing her dad and going through that, and having a different perspective than your siblings do on someone who's no longer here. Even my mom, who has parent issues, right? She was in therapy for a while, and would never talk about her dad because she was like, well, he's dead. What am I going to do about it? It's like, well,
it's noon, but
okay. You know, so just keep that in mind, that you guys can focus on each other without needing to have the same reality and narrative on your past. I think it sounds like both of you are looking for a new start, and Rachel, you're lucky that you have one. You have your family and your son and all of that. And
I think the fact that you're even asking this question is already a step in the right direction.
That you want to feel closer to her and
also preserve your energy for yourself.
Right.
And you will have so much more energy when you aren't breaking pieces off for other people.
Exactly.
They get the sides, they get the leftovers, they don't get the meal.
Yeah.
Your family gets the meal.
And when you get to know your sister, she might start filling up your cup.
Yep.
In a way that, like, you can love her imperfectly and know that she makes you laugh. You know, you like the same movies, like things that it's like, oh, this can be good too.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for trusting us with that.
yeah, I was like, this is a good one to
So good.
really dig into because I love talking about sibling dynamics in general, like birth order and all of that stuff.
And it's also really vulnerable to share that much information about your situation. So thank you very much.
Thank you for letting us psychoanalyze you.
Yes.
And
Simultaneously trauma dump with you.
yeah, we're here for that.
Big love.
Big love. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this podcast. We're trying to do some real, answering the hotline calls and then doing more longer episodes in between. So yeah, we're about to hop on a call because we're super big business ladies now. And by we, I mean me. I'm entering in. I'm hopping on Jerry's coattails.
Said I'll have my people call our people.
Yeah, my people will call me as the people for this. And I'm like, okay, I'll be here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We love you so much.
Bye.
Oh, wait. I'm Rach.
And I'm Jerry.
And we're out of here.
Bye.